Hey, 7th grade, Mrs. Hollenbeck here, and I'm on lesson 16 for vocab, and it is page 63. Our first word is aptitude. Aptitude is a noun, and with aptitude, when we talk about aptitude, it means you have a particular skill. If you have an aptitude for math, it means you have some skills in that, some natural skills in that. I have a family with artistic aptitude. Right? They have gifts, natural gifts in art. Okay, and once again, it's a noun. Okay. Just a second here. Computer's being goofy. Okay. Our next word is, going alphabetically from that list, astute. Astute is an adjective. Now, astute has to do with if somebody gives an astute remark or makes an astute evaluation, it means that they were clever. A very keen observation, that they demonstrated some insight there. And usually we hear it in connection with businessmen. If the person is an astute businessman, they made some keen, some very clever decisions, because they seem to have an aptitude for business, and so they could make astute evaluations. Okay? That's astute. Our next word is conducive. It also is an adjective. Now, I use the word conducive all the time when I tell you in vocab class or in my study halls to keep it, to be quiet, to keep it a conducive environment. Conducive means helpful. It means if we keep it quiet and keep a conducive environment, then everybody could work to the best of their ability. Okay, and so conducive means helpful, able to. You're able to get things done. What I intend for you to get done. Okay. Erratic. Erratic is also an adjective. Now, erratic, we've had some erratic weather where we have snow and way cold, and then today it was way hot. I mean, I wore my jacket or my coat, my winter coat in the morning. By the time I had car duty this afternoon, it was hot. That's erratic. Not a steady thing, but up and down. Never know. It's uncertain what something is going to be. Weather can be very erratic. Something else that can be erratic might be if you've been ill and you catch some of the stuff that's going around. If you have a temperature, your temperature can be erratic. Okay? So that, once again, is an adjective. That IC at the end, that ick suffix, that makes it an adjective. Our next word is a noun, and it's pronounced mosque, and it only has one meaning. It is a Islamic house of worship. Okay? When my daughter Grace was over in Spain a couple of summers ago, she saw numerous mosques, and they had really some interesting artwork in them. All right. So mosque is a place of worship for Muslims. Okay. The sixth word is pastoral. It is an adjective. Now, when we talked in lesson 15 about this word, I likened it to the word pasture. It sounds kind of like that. And pastoral makes me think of pastures, countryside. And that's what helps me remember that meaning, having to do with the countryside and things that would happen in the country. Okay, that's pastoral. Quantitative. Quantitative is an adjective. Now, we see in that word the noun word quantity, and this is the adjective form. Quantitative means that whatever we're describing can be described or explained in the form of an amount. Okay? Things that are quantitative. Eggs in a carton. That's a quantitative object, because we can count them up and say, okay, there are a dozen eggs. All right, that's a quantitative statement. Okay, but love is not quantitative. You can't put a measure to it. It can't be measured. It can't be counted. You can't give an amount to it. So that love would not be considered quantitative. Okay. All right. Recur. Recur. If something happens again, it recurs, and typically we use this word for things that happen in intervals. They happen again in intervals, like the melodrama recurs every year. It happens again. Christmas recurs. Okay, it's something that happens usually same time, relatively. Well, Christmas, same time every year. Okay, it recurs. Okay, that's a verb, by the way. Okay. Our ninth word is requisite. Requisite is a noun. It's a noun or an adjective. All right. In high school and when you go to college, there are classes that are requisite classes. That means they are required. You have to have them, all right, in order to get a diploma. Okay? And then there are some classes that you have to take, like you have to take English 101 before you could take English 201. So English 101 is a prerequisite to taking English 201. Right? Requisite means it's required. You need to have it before you can go on to the next, or before you can go on to the next class or next stage, or sometimes when you're getting a new job, there's like a, I don't know, some health things are requisite. Or starting a new school year, your shots record, your immunization records, that's a requisite. You have to have that. You have to show that and prove that you've had your immunizations. That is requisite. That is required. Okay? So now it can be a noun. A requisite for getting into college or a particular Ivy League college might be a 4.0 or above. That is a requisite. That is the requirement of grade point average. Okay? That's the noun form. Or you could say a requisite item or a requisite grade point average for getting into an Ivy League school would be a 4.0 plus. Okay? That's requisite. Once again, noun or adjective. And our last word, zenith, that's a noun. And remember, during the analogies in the last lesson, I likened it to the word apex. It's the top, okay? The summit. Zenith we use when we talk about perhaps somebody's career. If you're thinking about a sports figure, the zenith of their career happened in, 2005 or something, okay? Or the pinnacle, the peak of their career. That's the zenith of their career, okay? The zenith of John Elway's career might have been when he won the Super Bowl. Whenever he did that, I can't remember the year. Anyway, those are our words, and I did say zenith was a noun, I believe. So I'm boogieing on over to page 180 something. Yeah, 185. That's your context lesson, okay? And I'm going to give a quick perusal to point out things. Right off the bat, they start with an opposite. They hint to the meaning of the word by giving you the opposite. And there's a clear indication that they're doing that because they use the word not. That's an automatic cue to you, it should be, that they're going to define the word by giving its opposite to you. Okay? And then I'm looking, some of these, they're synonyms, but they're not right next to the word. Alright? So, it's either going to be before or after, but don't give up looking. Continue to look, but they're not right after. I think the last lesson was pretty easy that way. This one is a little bit trickier as I look at my markings. They're not like right next to the word. There are synonyms and antonyms. No, I just see synonyms right now. I see that one opposite. Yeah, but they're not right next to the word. Okay? There's an example. They define the word by giving you an example on page 186. See that? Yeah. Mostly synonyms, but not right next to the word. All right? So be on the lookout. Pay a little more attention. All right? Give an astute effort. Okay? All right, so it's a context lesson beginning on page 185 to page 190, looks like. All right? So this is due next week, right before spring break, and this will be the last lesson prior to spring break. All right? So we'll see you later, 7th grade.